you too scared to speak your truth? My name is Eileen Burns, and I'm owner of the Spiritual Marketing Club and Stress Coach Training. And in today's video session, I'm going to talk about one of the biggest fears that can stop soul-aligned spiritual business really make a deep connection with their ideal clients or their soul clients. So are you too scared to speak your truth? Are you someone that, for a variety of reasons, is struggling to speak about the things that are really, really important to you, important to your business? One of the big things that we've seen over the last few years, particularly through the pandemic, is a huge shift in levels of censorship and many ways trying to stop people have a voice and have set opinions. And we've saw all over the world a situation where certain, suppose people maybe in what maybe classed as power, or certain types of media, certain types of dialogue where certain narratives were allowed to be spoken, but other opposing or other ideas were not. Now, in many ways, that is a deep, deep sense of abuse of control, because in a society where there is freedom of speech, no matter if you agree or don't agree with someone, they're allowed to speak, and they're allowed to have their opinion. And freedom of speech helps open a conversation. It helps us look at wider perspectives that sometimes we don't consider. And it also gives us knowledge and insight about things that sometimes we would never think about, okay? And at an individual level, at a sovereign level, everyone is allowed certain personal sovereignty in relation to the freedom of thoughts. When we're too scared to speak our truth in our business, we can get really out of alignment with what is really, really important, because particularly a spiritual business has been created often from someone's why. Okay, it's a deep desire to do something for a certain reason, and often the more someone is soul aligned, it's a big part of their mission. And if you're too scared to speak about something that is related to your mission, there is a lot of dis-ease, and that can actually impact you in a physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritual level. I know through the pandemic, I, like many people, was censored a lot. I had a lot of challenges on social media, a lot of threats, and I wasn't extreme. I certainly did have certain personal opinions, right? And opinions that I felt were very also aligned with my views as even the type of businesses that I run, the ethics, and how I do things from as someone who studied holistic well-being, and is very much about personal choice in relation to health choices, as someone who had been medically harmed on not just one or two occasions, but several occasions, and also someone who has been the therapist or the healer or the coach and support to other people that have been harmed by certain systems. I am a big advocate of certain types of choices, and a big advocate for safe and effective practice. Do no harm is one of my biggest mottos. And one of the biggest challenges many business owners had was then trying to get kind of round about it, right? Still trying to speak your truth, but do it in a way that you're not going to completely destroy your business in the process. And it was almost trying to think smart as well, and taking a little bit of risk, right? And there were certain things that I did, but that it's like being in an abusive relationship, where you're in an abusive relationship and you're not allowed to speak your truth, and someone is trying to control you, it can start shutting down, particularly, the throat. It can also can put you into fear. One of the biggest things that someone can do to override that is start speaking about some things that are slightly uncomfortable, right? But not huge. I would urge you, if you have been playing really small in your business and been scared to speak your truth, that it can make a huge difference when you do. Because surprisingly, even though I was censored, whatever, one of my sides of my business, the more I spoke my truth, my open rate dramatically increased. And I actually thought that I would get a lot of people like unlisted, like removing themselves from my emails. They didn't. That was the interesting part. But my increase in click-through rate dramatically increased the more that I had the courage to speak my truth. Because many people, I suppose, in many ways felt the same, but were too scared to speak the truth. Many people may maybe not have agreed 100%, but they were open and respected my willingness to speak my truth. I was coming from the heart, that I wasn't being just malicious in my opinion, that I had valid reasons why. And so it was all about my why. And I had genuine reasons why I was explaining that this was my truth and part of my mission. Now, when we speak in truth, we really hit particularly when it's the truth about our mission and our why, and it's related to our business, we really, really hit the key points that our audience needs to feel to trust us. Because now more than ever, we have a society that is built on lies, deception, and lack of trust. People want complete authenticity and transparency, and they want to know, when you're a spiritual business, that you genuinely want what is best for that audience, and that you're coming from a place of integrity, right? And your core values are often the biggest attractor that you have with your audience. Why your audience needs to hear your message. The reality is that every individual, every business has a different audience, but your audience, your ideal clients, your soul clients need to hear your message, because your core message is what aligns with them. My message is going to be completely different, and it might even be actually the opposite of your message, but that does not make your message any less valid than my message. Because somewhere out there, someone needs to hear my message, just like someone out there needs to hear your message. We all have different life experiences. We all have different challenges, and we all seek different types of solutions for those challenges for so many different reasons. We all come from a different vantage point. We all see not just the world, but even we see the solution to certain problems differently. And the audience that is going to be most aligned with your products and services, the way that you do it, the way that you serve it, needs to hear your particular message, because most soul clients are somewhere where you have been, right? And that is why your soul clients are going to really be my soul clients. Of course, there can be crossovers, but it's so important that your audience hears the messages that are aligned with the core values of their life, or core values that are going to be really important when they buy from you. One of the biggest differences with buying, for example, many types of products and a spiritual product is that, for example, many spiritual products, you're helping people with their mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual well-being. And there's a certain level of, it's very personal. And for example, if you're helping someone with certain challenges, mental challenges, right, there is a certain level of trust. They have to feel confident that you not only have the skills and the training and the expertise, but there is certain core values, like they can trust you, that you're going to treat them a certain way. And every individual sees that, and it's like as if it's like when someone goes to buy a cake, right, for example, we all have different likes. Some people like chocolate cake, some like vanilla cakes, vanilla sponges, some people like chocolates instead of cakes, sometimes some people like the fancy icing, some people don't like icing, right? So this kind of thing. And sometimes people like it packaged in a nice way, some people don't care. We're all individual. And today, people have more choice than ever. So when they are choosing a healer, a therapist, a coach, in many ways, it's not just about, of course, its most important thing is the solution and that you're doing it in a way that feels resonant. But sometimes it's all the other things that just give the clinch, right? Now, one of the biggest things that I always look for when I'm purchasing things is a certain level of depth, right? I want a depth of integrity, a depth of knowledge, a depth of experience, a depth of this. Now, I maybe didn't, and that's when I'm purchasing spiritual products. Now, I probably wouldn't look for that 30 years ago. I do now because of my, you could say, level of fussiness, because I've been a purchaser of that industry, quite a big purchaser for 30 years, and tried and tested lots of products and services. If I'm going to invest my money, I want how I want it, and I want it certainly, right? And I'm not saying that's for everything, but for a lot of things. But I want to understand, I want that person to understand me, and to me to feel aligned with that person, aligned with their core values and their spiritual values, and to be aligned with their level of awareness. I'm not going to buy something of someone that where they're going to maybe help me with my awakening and my spirituality, where I feel as if they can't stretch me, or that they can't support me because they don't have similar values or views, right? Or there's something that I feel that they can't give me. When I hear their message and I know they're very impactful and strong, and I know they're very clear in their message, and clear about their core values and what's truth, that gives me strength. Now, during the pandemic, I had been just looking at different quotes. Sometimes I just kind of look at different things to see what's resonating with me at the moment for my next, my next growth. And one of the interesting people that I bought for, his message was so strong. There was no BS. He was very strong in his opinion that actually it was quite polarizing. But he was making it very clear what his opinion was, his values were, and what he was all about, and the solution he was offering. There was no, you couldn't There's no way you could get confused about what his message was, right? And what he was teaching. And many people, yeah, probably maybe 80% of the world, maybe not like that, or even less than that, but he was targeting his ideal clients. Now, sometimes I do that, and I know people find that they can maybe find that uncomfortable. Sometimes triggers are not bad for your clients as well. Sometimes triggers make people question things and reason it, but it also can help us stop attracting those audiences that are not ready for us, or that are definitely not a right fit. Because particularly in spiritual work, there's certain types of work that it's very exhausting. It's a waste of that client's time if they're not ready to do that type of work, or they're not, or they don't understand it, they're not ready for it. So that's why it's important that you're very clear in your messaging, and that they are able to hear your message. Now, they can only hear your message if you get out there in front of enough of your soul clients to speak your truth. You need to get out there. You need to be able to, and one of the best ways to do that is an email list. To do that is a great way to do that is get really good lead magnets where they sign up, and you can build up a more intimate connection. Okay. Okay, why your truth helps build deep soul resonance. Because for example, at the moment, people have faced so much deception and lack of integrity, lack of transparency. People are craving more than ever truth and integrity and authenticity. But also, on a general basis, society in many ways is built on illusion. It's built on a certain amount of everything's superficial. If we look at everything is about changing and making things look different, look at even social media and filters, the encouragement of things like selfies, where it's programming us that we're not good enough, that we've to be something and look something different, and everything is about physical appearance. At a soul level, people are often not conscious of it, actually are actually craving something more solid. They're craving a deeper emotional connection and trust with something that is more solid, but something that means something to them. And in many ways, people want to be understood, right? They genuinely want to be understood, because so many people feel misunderstood. They feel often unloved. They feel as if they're not enough. And when you speak your truth, it helps build deep soul resonance, because first of all, it shows courage. And the more that you do it from personal experience, and making it again very aligned with what is going to be important to that audience, when your stories are very relevant and aligned with that particular audience, they can feel that integrity, and they understand, particularly if you're sharing something that many of them will have experienced in some way. And when it's relevant to the products and services that you offer, it just helps build a deeper resonance. And today, because people have so much choice, because people are overwhelmed with all the products and services out there, and a lot of false promises, and a lot of implications that are not always 100% truth, people need that deep resonance. And it's the main reason that I use the brand archetypes. And it's the main reason that when I work with clients on a one-to-one basis, I get them to go deeper with the main brand archetypes, because your brand archetype actually has a way of building that deep resonance if you know how to do it properly. One of the biggest differences with corporate businesses who use archetypes, right, and many companies and even a lot of archetypal brand strategists, is that many of them are still functional at a very superficial level, because many businesses use archetypes to imply they're a certain type of company rather than what they actually are. It's all about just trying to get the sale. And if you look at the caregiver is one of the biggest ones that many, like for example, the pharmaceutical industry use, because they use that to try and portray that everything is safe and effective and that they have 100% your interests in at heart, and it's all about altruism. When you know if you think about that, we don't need to add any more to that. So your truth helps, at a soul level, people feel you and get a feeling for the type of person and what your core values, but it builds that connection because it's real. It builds realness. And the key here is building it about something that is going to be important to them. If you're talking about things that are not aligned or relevant to them, it's not going to build resonance, right? And you cannot be afraid about offending someone or losing one person or a few people in your email list. So that you keep your message to yourself. Because if they can't handle your message, that is not, first of all, your challenge or your problem. Your main mission is to speak your truth, right? Especially, if it's completely aligned with what you're doing and it's an important message. That individual is either not your ideal client and is normally not, right? Or your normal soul client, or they've got wounding in relation to that area that they need to resolve, right? So it's important that you speak your truth, even if it's uncomfortable for certain people. Now, if you'd like to learn how to build more deep resonance with your soul clients, you can get there's so many different types of courses and different things in the Spiritual Marketing Club Gold or Platinum membership. And basically, in my Spiritual Marketing Club membership, over the last 10 years, I have created so many different courses. And what I've done is put a library of content in the membership. I also do have a bronze membership, and the bronze membership is it helps people get more soul aligned if they don't really know what their purpose is or their gifts. That helps at a soul level when people need to do a wee bit more soul work. If you buy the gold, you get the bronze. If you buy the platinum, you get the gold and the bronze. And we're in March 2023 when I'm doing this video, and there is an amazing offer on at the moment if you buy the platinum membership. It's a monthly membership. You can cancel anytime. You can also pop over and check out my amazing blogs. I've got a plethora of blogs, a plethora of courses and resources. I hope this has helped. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.